Everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. Sunday today, kind of not a bad day here on the West Coast, but I have been in my craft room since actually early this morning because I had a team meeting. So I got ready for my team meeting and we had such fun. I can't wait to share a card that Roberta, who's on my team, shared with us. It's called an Inside Flip-flap card, I think it is. So I'm excited to show you that in a live coming up. But today I want to show you the Extraordinary Flora bundle and the new washi tape that is in the annual catalog from Stampin' Up! I love washi tape, and so this is actually, I think it's like 3 inches wide, and there is a die cut that you can cut the washi tape. And when I first saw it, I thought, I don't actually know how this is going to work, because how do you cut something with a sticky background on it? But you can put it on, sorry, I'm just trying to check my streaming so I can see comments on Facebook. You can put it onto basic white cardstock and then die cut all these little pieces out to make this really pretty card. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to do today. It's the first time I've used it, so fingers crossed all is going to go well with it. But it's very pretty washi tape. All right, I'm going to switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. There we go. All right, so first of all, this is the Extraordinary Flora bundle. So it's got the stamp. Now these are 80%, so they're actually a fair amount bigger. So here's the die cut that you could actually stamp this image and color these and then die cut out all of the pieces. So this is the actual size. Or this is the washi tape. And I'll show you how this works, but you take it and roll it out onto basic white cardstock, and then you can cut all of these same pieces out that are stuck onto basic white cardstock or whatever. Basic white probably works the best, and then you can use them on your card. I don't know how much is in the roll. Like I said, it's 3 inches wide. You could use it as a strip instead of designer series paper. Lots of things you can do with this, but I wanted to play with this die first of all. Okay, so I've done a little prep work already. So I've got a piece of basic white cardstock. This is thick basic white cardstock, 4 1/4 by 11. And then I took a piece of basic white cardstock that's 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I embossed it using the mini corrugated embossing folder. Definitely one of my favorites. So that's going to go on the front. And then I am absolutely in love with these ovals from the Impressions of Bloom. So I cut an oval. So you can see I've got all white card, but I'm going to put the pretty colors on from the washi tape. So I've got some of this ready. So let's actually put the washi tape on and do the die cutting. So it is like washi tape. It isn't as sticky as, you know, you can often pull washi tape off. It's paper, so you have to be a little careful when you pull it off the roll. And so I'm just going to take and gently pull this off. And I don't know which is which, and hopefully I've got a big enough piece of, yeah, should do. Okay, so what I have to figure out is which is the first piece that I'm going to cut off. Sorry, I haven't played with this yet, so you can see all the lovely images that you can cut. And if you look at you can see it does come off. So I'm going to just gently put it onto my workspace for the moment. And if you look at the stamped image, this flower is this one down at the bottom. And so it lines up with that. So my bottom pieces are going to be cut off a little bit, but that's okay because there's a lot of die cuts that I can use on my card. So I'm going to put this right to the bottom, and you want to try and get it as flat as possible. And so if you have a credit card, or this is my business card, you can kind of just take it and rub it along and try and get those bubbles and crinkles out of it, like that. Okay, and now I'm going to just take and cut that off. It cuts really easy. Like I said, it's paper. Hey Amanda, hello. All right, so I'm just going to take and fold that on and put that so that I, oopsie, dropped my stuff. Okay, sorry about that noise. All right, so I've got my piece, and so I know that this die cut, if I go down, cancel, sorry, I'm just trying to get to my, there. Okay, so this rose down here lines up. So I'm going to get partial die cuts from the bottom, just the way my washi tape was. But it's pretty easy to line up. You do want to use something like a post-it note tape or post-it note on it to hold it in place so that it cuts out nicely and it doesn't slip and slide. So I'm going to put one on each side, and then the washi tape is actually narrow enough to go through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, but of course I put it onto a 4-inch piece of basic white cardstock. So mine won't go through my mini, but it definitely will go through my regular machine. And so because it's on basic white cardstock, it cuts out beautifully. No need to even run it through multiple times, which is nice. So now you can just start poking out your bits, and you have all of these. So what I'm going to do is, because I expect I will have extra pieces, I'm going to get a stamp case and use it to store all of my extra pieces in. I've even got some that I didn't cut off the top. So look at all of these gorgeous die cuts that have kind of an interesting texture to them because of the washi tape and are shiny, as opposed to a die cut that you might cut out of designer series paper or Stampin' cutout. So I got lots to choose from. So let's pull in my supplies. I've got my thick basic white cardstock that was 4 1/4 by 11, and we'll score it at 5.5. And as always, fold into the mountain or the raised line and burnish it with your bone folder. Okay, so then this piece of basic white cardstock I embossed, so it was 4 inches by 5 1/4. I mentioned this yesterday, I think, when I did a card using this. It does shrink the length of it because of the way it crimps it. And so if you want to have it be, have the, the same distance, same width on the sides as you do on the top and bottom, maybe make it like 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch shorter, and you can trim it as necessary. But of course I didn't think of that again today. So I'm going to put a little bit of color onto my my background. So I've got strawberry slush, and I just want to go, I'm just going to add just a little bit of color kind of around the middle. I just want to do very lightly with my blending brush, and hopefully you can see. Just mostly want it around where that oval is going to go. So the oval is going to go like that. And so I'm just going to kind of expand it a little bit. It's probably going to go most of it, but just add a little bit of color so that that you'll see, there we go, just a little bit of color behind my oval. Okay, before I put that oval on, I am going to start decorating it. Well, actually, let's think about this. There we go. So I'm going to put that on with dimensionals. I can find my dimensionals. There they are. And I realized I didn't bring any embellishments over, and I didn't bring any ribbon. But I think what I will do, I will grab the strawberry slush and pretty in pink embellishments, because I think that will go very nicely with the colors. So we're just going to take and put that on like that. And now I like to use glue dots, so we're going to just take and put some of these flowers. I'm going to just kind of audition some flowers. And if it cuts it off like that, just take and you can tuck it in behind and use it as you know, leaves in behind. Something. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to start. I think I'm getting close to being able to. So I'm going to take the ones that go in behind, I just take and put a glue dot just underneath it and then tuck them in. You can put dimensionals on some of these that are going to be on the front and pop them up a little bit. Like that. And then this one I had tucked underneath. So when you have dimensionals on top, you can actually then tuck the little flowers underneath like that. And this one we'll put a dimensional on. They're just so pretty. Very delicate, very delicate flowers these are. So you can use as many of these or as few of these as you want. That one I hadn't. This is the one that was partially cut off, but it works well just to kind of pop out. A little bit of a flower sticking out. And what else have we got going on? Oh, there's another flower. So that's the other half of that one. All right, let's... All sorts of choices. Oh, it's not available. Well, I'm sure it will be, Amanda. Is it just not available yet? Because it's in the annual catalog, so I'm sure it will be available for you. It's just maybe taking its time. So you can frame this as much or as little as you want to. And I think I'm going to take this one and just put kind of over top of it like that. There. Okay, I think I've got enough. I'll save my other bits and use them. You could use them on the inside of your card. Like that. And then I like to use liquid glue. I mentioned this yesterday when I'm adhering an embossed piece of cardstock, because the liquid glue will get into all the nooks and crannies. It was very delicate with that pink in behind. And before I forget, I am going to go and just quickly grab those embellishments. They're right here. She says, there we are. Yep, they're right here. I could have put some ribbon on as well, but we will use these pretty in pink and strawberry slush embellishments. But I do need a sentiment, of course. So I've got a scrap here. And, you know, I think I'm going to use Tuxedo Black Memento because I think it'll just pop as opposed to Strawberry Slush. And I've got the sentiment that says, congratulations. These are quite small. And so my oval is a little bit larger. So you could use an embellishment from the Impressions of Bloom bundle, which is what I used. Oh, in June. Okay, yeah, hopefully it'll be there. The Impressions of Bloom die that I used for the oval, you could use one of the bigger sentiments from that if you wanted to. Okay, we'll pop that up. And we're just going to put that in the middle like that. Straight would be good. And then let's use the darkest, the Strawberry Slush ones. Come in 2 sizes in 3 different colors, which is fun. Like that. And so you could take some of the leftovers if you wanted to and put them on the inside of the card. I also pulled out this, it's kind of a just dotted lines. It's a little bit curled. So if you find that these photopolymer stamps are not, you know, if you pick them up, sometimes they will curl a little bit. So just take it, and it's hard to see. Take it and put it onto your grid paper or your glass mat and pick it up using your block. And you will find that it kind of goes back to its normal shape. So we will just take and do that. And I'm going to put one of these down. Do I have a flower? No. I'll just put one of these down and glue this on. And we will save all of those other die cuts for a future project. There we go. So I'm just going to glue that one on. You could even use your, just put a strip of the washi tape along the bottom. But there we go. Very pretty card, I think, and very delicate using that Extraordinary Flora bundle and this gorgeous, gorgeous washi tape. It's great for scrapbooking too if you wanted to make a project using it. So that's just one card so far. Like I said, I have just pulled it out of the box that arrived while I was away, and so thought I better start playing with it. It's just very pretty, so I can't wait to do some more projects with it. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Thanks, Sarah. Oh, gosh, I'm finally seeing comments on Facebook. I'm sorry. Apologies for that. Again, I don't know why Facebook seems to delay giving me comments. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Now, I will be back live on Tuesday at a little earlier than normal because I have a meeting on Tuesday night. So come join me about 4:30 on Tuesday for my